Hypnotic 2023, please dislike or like it. At the start of the movie, we are introduced to an officer named Danny, who was sitting with his doctor. Actually, Danny was very upset. That's why he was sitting with his doctor and telling him his problems. Danny often remembered his daughter because his daughter suddenly disappeared, which he did not know until today. One day Danny was in the park with his daughter. There was a boy standing next to his daughter. Danny's eyes were only on toys from there. When he looked back at his daughter disappeared from there. Danny could not forget this incident from his life even today. And that's why his wife also left him. Even after many years of research, he could not find his daughter's whereabouts, that which boy had kidnapped her that day. Now a friend of his calls Danny out by messaging him. He was still remembering everything about his daughter. Danny's friend tells that there is a box in the locker of a bank in which there is going to be theft. We have to stop that theft. That's why they reach the bank quickly, so they see the recording of all the cameras there. While watching the video there, Danny was suspecting a man. That man was sitting with a woman on the bench outside. He says to that woman that it is very hot outside. Saying this, he left from there. Danny was suspecting him because that man is now going towards the bank. Danny also quickly went inside the bank behind that man. The woman who was sitting with that man, when she starts crossing the road, then there was an accident on the road, due to which everyone's attention goes towards him. Danny, who had reached the bank, meets the manager of the bank there. And he stole the keys of that locker room from him. Now the man who was outside, whom Danny had seen in the video, he comes out and puts the receptionist in his control and tells him to bring the same box from the locker room. Danny had also come to know about it here. Actually, that man's name was Liv, who had put the receptionist in his control. He was a hypnotist. Danny had also found out about that box inside. When he sees her, there was a picture of his daughter and some information too. Now when the receptionist comes, Danny shoots her and asks her about that box. Then the guards also came there who had shot Danny and started shooting at him. But Danny was wearing a bulletproof jacket because of which nothing happens to him. Actually, Liv had put everyone in her control here. When Danny runs out, she hits his car with the same receptionist truck. She was doing this because Liv had hypnotized her. In this accident, the receptionist was also injured. After which that man Liv comes to him and takes that box from him in which there was all the information about Danny's daughter. And he had put a bomb on the receptionist's hand, after which he left from there. Now when Danny comes out of his car, there was a very big blast which Liv had done. When Danny sees him leaving, he follows him. He had come to the roof of a building where two officers had come and caught Liv. But Danny shows him his daughter's picture and asks about her. When Liv sees her box, it was empty because Danny had already taken everything out of that box. Now the officer who was going to catch Liv also puts him in his control. That is, he had also hypnotized him. Now both the officers kill each other by shooting at each other. And Liv had run away from there again. When Danny goes behind him, he was now missing. This thing was now bothering Danny. Now Danny comes back and tells everything to his friend. He asks, "Do you know anything about it?" He also shows his friend his daughter's picture. His friend says, "No, I don't know anything about it." Now when Danny was sitting at night watching all the recorded videos of Liv, then he gets a call from his friend. He says, "What you told me, I think you will have to meet a doctor who knows about hypnotizing. He can tell you everything that how that man hypnotizes Liv and why he is controlling people." Now Danny listens to his friend and goes to the doctor, where the doctor was hypnotizing a man. When Danny comes there, that man had gone from there. The doctor tells Danny his name is Diana. Here Danny tells Diana about his whole story. How did his daughter disappear? Diana was a little sad to hear this. When Danny tells her everything about Liv, she says, "Listening to you, I can see a big mess now. That man dies in an accident." Before dying, that man just tells Danny to stay away from Liv. Hearing this, Diana tells Danny that Liv has hypnotized him. Diana had brought Danny to her office and now she tells him, "You must have heard about hypnotizing in which people are controlled. You can control them and get them to do anything." The government had formed a team a few years ago who were experts in hypnosis. As soon as they saw in the eyes of humans, they used to hypnotize them. That is, their control over them. Here Danny's friend does not believe him after hearing all this. Diana hypnotizes him to make him believe that all this is true and tells him to go out. When Danny's friend came out, there was Liv there who had made him under her control again. Inside, Diana and Danny were talking. He asks Diana that if all this is true, then why did Liv's hypnotizing effect on me not happen? She tells you that something has had a deep effect on your life. She tells you that she had endured a lot of trauma and this incident can also be the kidnapping of your daughter. She tells me that I am also a part of the same team that the government had made, which was also named Devian. Now that's when Danny's friend comes, who had shot Danny. Now Diana comes there and kills Danny's friend. On this, Danny was very angry with him. Diana tells him that your friend would have taken his life. Then Danny was a little relieved to hear this. Now they had come to Mexico. Because Danny's friend was a police officer, he was told to catch both of them for his murder. Now when they go to a hotel, the manager there also identifies them. That's when Diana hypnotizes that manager. Now they had also run away from there. When they come out, Liv was standing outside who hypnotized the police officer and brought him to catch him. Now the police officer caught him and ran away. And he comes in the middle of the train and hides. At that time he could see all the trains flying there. But this was just his imagination. That's when Liv came in front of Danny. There were 2 officers with him. There Diana comes with a truck and kills those officers. Danny sees that Liv also disappeared from there. They both had left from here. Now when Danny tells all this to Diana, she says that all this is happening to you and you don't know what power is inside you. You can't go into his control. Hearing this, Danny was also surprised. He had to know a lot about hypnotizing. That's why he goes to a hypnosis department where he met a man. He knew about hypnotizing and Liv. That's why Diana kidnaps that man's wife and asks her what does Liv want from us and what does he want to do. That man says he wants Domino. What was Domino? She doesn't even tell this to Danny. Domino is a very big weapon which is kept in the hypnosis department. That weapon is called Division because it is associated with a division company. Some people wanted to spread destruction in the world with that weapon. That man says that a while ago Liv had collected evidence for him. Danny understood that his connection is somewhere connected to his daughter. Diana immediately understood this, that the man who was telling her everything was also in control of Liv. That's when Liv comes there and says that the man who was telling her everything was also in control of Liv. Danny kills a man there and takes Diana on a bike and takes her away. Now Danny was again seeing paintings in the sky. He was trapped in a place where many officers were with Liv who were coming to catch him. When Danny looks into the eyes of those officers, then instead of catching him, he catches Liv. Danny also did not know anything about it. Diana thought that Danny had a lot of strange powers. Now how did all this start and why? To find out this, he comes to a hacker. Hacker means that he could control anything on the internet and run it as he wanted. He had all the data of the Domino weapon. When they reached him, that hacker suddenly caught Diana. Later that hacker finds out that Diana was a very good friend of him. Now the 3 of them come inside together. When Danny sees all his hacking skills, he was surprised. Here now he tells them about that weapon. Then Danny sees a picture of a woman who was surprised to see because it was a picture of his wife. When he asks about her, the hacker tells him that she is a hypnotist. Danny did not know about his wife. He gets sad and sits in the room where Diana brings him a drink. Now he was remembering all the moments he spent with his wife. He did not know when his wife became a hypnotist. After Diana's departure, Danny gets a call in which someone was telling him to kill Diana. Hearing this, he does not know what happened. He goes to kill Diana with a knife. When she sees this, she gets worried. She had understood that Danny had also come under the control of Leaf. But somehow she fixes him. Here Danny was seeing the face of his wife and Diana. At night, Danny wakes up again because she was not letting him sleep about his wife. Danny starts seeing all the information about his wife. When he sees the picture of his wife with him on his mobile, he sees Diana instead of his wife. What was happening with Danny? He himself did not know about it. When he finds information about his daughter, he finds out that Domino is actually the second name of his daughter, who is the daughter of 2 powerful hypnotists. And he himself is very powerful and powerful. Actually, the woman who Danny used to talk to was actually Diana. She was teased with the memory of Danny and Diana, but still Danny does not remember anything. When Diana comes here, she asks him about his daughter. She says that you do not remember that you took her and ran away. So now Danny started remembering a little. He says, yes, I took my daughter and ran away. Actually, I wanted to save my daughter from those divisions who were misusing her. Now when Danny tells the people to come in front of him, everything had changed. Everyone who used to work with Danny comes in front of him, whom we had seen with Danny before. There was also a director of the company who was no one else but Liv. He wanted Domino at any cost, that is, Danny's daughter. Danny had erased this thing from his memory, that where he had left his daughter. That's why Liv was behind him. He wanted to control his memory and know the location of his daughter. That's why she was reminding Danny this thing again and again. But Danny still did not remember anything. Now when Danny comes out of that place where there was a Sarah set, that is, all the things we have seen so far were running in Danny's mind. There was nothing real. When Danny also found out this thing, he was shocked because he had not gone out of that place at all. There were all the people of the division who wanted to find out about his daughter from Danny. Liv says that we will have to start this thing again. Danny was taken to the hospital and made unconscious. And then he was tied to a chair and made to sit. He gets a DNA which asks him about his daughter. Danny still does not tell him anything. Now an experiment was started on him. We see Danny again with a doctor. He was sitting and talking about his daughter. Then his friend's message comes. So he went with him. He had to catch a thief in the bank, that is the Liv. The whole story was running in Danny's mind again. Before knowing Danny's memory, he had written the address of a place in the diary. Now DNA also understood that Danny's daughter would be here. Their Danny, who had reached a farm, their husband and wife shoot him, who were actually his mom and dad. DNA was also coming to him. The one who had collected all the information about him had reached the farm with the people of the division. Their Danny's mom and dad were ready to compete with them because they did not want to give Danny's daughter to them. When DNA comes there, Danny's dad tells DNA that he is taking control of your memory. During that moment, Danny's companion attacks him. They were both conscious. When she looks at Danny's mom and dad like this, then DNA remembers a little. Danny had also reached here. Now he tells that DNA was never a part of the division. Liv wanted to get our daughter from the beginning because she had hypnotic power. Now his daughter comes there. DNA was very happy to meet her daughter. Her daughter DNA tells her mom that now we will live together. Saying this, she looks at Liv. Liv's condition had also deteriorated. He tells everyone that they are not on any farm. That place had started changing from there. All the people of the division started killing each other because Danny's daughter had taken control of everyone. In that, Danny's mom and dad were also killing everyone who were still alive. Here Liv was also going to kill Danny. That's when DNA's daughter reminds her mom that a masked man had held you. Saying this, she looks at Liv and kills her. DNA remembered everything slowly. When her daughter was born, he was in the division. He wanted to make his daughter very powerful. His powers had increased a lot. But he did not like his daughter to kill such people. So, to keep away from all these things, Danny kept his daughter away from him. And the masked man DNA had he was none other than Danny. He erased the memories of DNA. So that no one could know about his daughter. And the people of the division should not misuse her. And he did exactly the same with himself. Danny hid his daughter with his mom and dad and erased the memories of his wife and him. So that the people of the division could never reach his daughter. Now everyone remembers everything. All three were very happy. At the end of the story, we are shown Liv, who was still alive. She had shown Danny's dad and got him killed. Now what was Liv going to do with these three? No one knows. And with this, the story of this movie ends here.